Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Sewing and repairing things, extremely useful. Sorry, I was getting interrupted. But extremely useful skill to have on all kinds of things. So, of the 117 flavors of sewing kits, this is one that I get for about $6 off of Amazon. And it's got a big sticker right there on the front that says TSA compliant. There's the items included. I'm going to show you what to do to spice them up a little bit. That's what I do. Excuse me. So, like my travel, I don't have scissors in the one that I take with me traveling, just because most of the time, if I'm someplace for a prolonged period, I have mailed out items for me to use once I get there. A friend of mine will have them, pick me up, it goes directly in my pocket, we rock and roll. But I'll always take them, and I open them up, and I remove these two items. The ruler is not that big a deal to me, nor the scissors, but if you wanted to risk the scissors in a TSA, you know, it's at their discretion, from what I understand, is how they let things go or not. You got a bunch of different colors there. You got some pins, buttons, a couple safety pins, and a couple sewing needles. So first thing that I like to do with mine is I like to throw in a couple extra pieces. And depending on what I have in, or how I've rock and rolled my haversack, I'll put these guys on a key ring just so I know where they are. But for this, we'll put 3 in here. And then I'm going to put a few more larger needles in there. So basically, as long as they'll fit, we will put them in there. There's 4 heavier duty ones right there. Do one more just in case. So there's some longer needles. These are the same needles that come in what I'm about to open right here. This is something I've been using a lot lately. It's just this waxed thread. And I've been using it. Oh, man, almost broken. Been using it similar to bank line and whipping and lashing. That's what I've been using it for. When you get this, it's like $5 a roll. So it comes with the roll. And then it also comes with this tube full of needles. So you can get this for $5, $6, depending on which color you get. This is the orange that I get. And it comes with a decent quantity of needles, and you would basically be set on a repair kit for about any kit. You know, it's big thread, but you could sew your pants up with this, or fix a shoe, or whatever. So it would just be, it's all in one deal like that. This is a good option, similar to this one. Just doesn't have as much gizmos. So I'm gonna look for this end on here. Yep. And then I'm going to pay off just a couple of arm spans. And then I'm going to give her the 2-finger wrap. So I'm going to get down here on the end of my line. And I'm just going to this is a fair amount of thread that we've got here. And there you go. This would be what I have in some of my other kits. Now, space, you got a good amount of space in there. So you could probably still fit the scissors in there. I don't ever really feel that I have any use for the tape measure, although I've seen my buddy Dustin whip out a tape measure and measure some stuff that he keeps in his belt. It's pretty handy. He actually was on a trip in Africa a couple months ago, and somebody was making him something, and he had this beat up cloth tape measure. It was just looking in bad shape, and Dustin had his in his belt, and he pulled it out and gave it to old dude. Old dude was super happy to get a new tape measure. Super cool. But anyway, I'm gonna say about $12 would get you everything that's pictured here. If I would, for 15 bucks, I would say you could also get a pack of large safety pins, and probably got one of these laid around. So I'm gonna say $15. You could get this kit that you could use, primary gear, and then you would have this that would totally sew whatever you wanted to if you were just crafting or wanted to bust some up in smaller pieces. So like you could take, I don't have any right here close to me, but you could take and it's a piece of fat wood, but you could take and make a spool like we've made on here before, with little U cut on each end, and wind your thread around it and put a V on one side and put a needle on each side and put a Ranger band on there to hold it. You could do that. It'd be very simple. You could make a whole bunch of those with the amount of stuff that came with this. The only thing I would do in addition to what I've already done is I'd put a Ranger band around this guy, just one. And some of them I've taken and I took a metal scrap and heated it up and poked a hole in the end and put me a lanyard on it. It's just got a little lanyard that pokes out. Pretty easy to do. Use some micro cord or something. And then you can put your Ranger band on long ways and have your lanyard on the back so it slides in and out and you won't remove the Ranger band on there. But anywho, I wanted to share this little guy. It's a pretty simple kit. The items that we have added should not, be enough to set off TSA more than what's in it. Again, it's pretty bold saying TSA compliant, because I guess at the end of the day it's really up to the TSA folks. I'd be curious if anybody has went through with the entire kit. Maybe you could just leave it in the box with the TSA sticker on it, might help. But the contents minus the scissors have made it in mine, and I know the scissors would be something that they would look at. But That's up to you if you're going to have a Swiss Army knife, say a Farmer X, where you're going, it's got scissors on it. Nice option, pre-made. The scissors are good too if you just want to bait around here in the States and not worry about who's going to be going through your luggage. This would be perfect. It's the one that I modify and put in my stuff. But alright, this is Sewing Kit Gizmos and Gadgets. Y'all, I appreciate the support. You can check out all of our older stuff, including a bunch of other cool sewing kits at Bushcraft Kelso on Instagram. Bushcraftkelso.com for gizmos and gadgets. Until next time, y'all. Later.